Good afternoon, everyone, from a warm, sunny day from the Netherlands. We have the 9th London International Conference here. Dear distinguished participants, on the behalf of organizing committee, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 9th London International Conference on Social Sciences and Humanities. We gather here today, virtually embark on a journey of intellectual exploration, collaboration, and knowledge dissemination. Over 3 days, we will be together. We'll start with opening session. It will be 1 hour. Today and tomorrow, we have different sessions. Between sessions, we will be coffee break, virtual coffees. We can enjoy our coffees in front of our computers behind the screens. This conference provides a platform for scholars, researchers, and students from around the globe to come together and engage in stimulating discussions on a wide range of topics within the realms of social sciences and humanities. Over the course of the next 3 days, we will have the opportunity to present new research findings, share innovative ideas, exchange information, and address current issues that shape our disciplines. The theme of this year's conference reflects the ever-evolving nature of our fields and the pressing challenges we face as a global community. Our topics of discussion encompass diverse areas such as education, business, and economics, finance, information technologies, interdisciplinary research, and regional studies. We believe that by exploring these interdisciplinary intersections, we can foster a deeper understanding of the complex issues that affect societies worldwide. In this virtual setting, we aim to ensure that every participant has an enriching experience. We have designed a program that features a variety of sessions, including keynote presentations, parallel paper sessions, and discussions. Through these engagements, we hope to create a conducive environment for fruitful exchange and collaboration, fostering new connections and inspiring future research endeavors. I'm also delighted to announce that all accepted abstracts and full papers will be published in the 9th LIC proceedings in the electronic format. Furthermore, selected full papers will undergo a rigorous peer review process and have the opportunity to be published in a journal such as the London Journal of Social Sciences and the Eurasian Journal of Higher Education. This presents an invaluable opportunity for participants to contribute to the scholarly discourse and make a lasting impact in their respective fields. As we embark on this intellectual journey together, I am pleased to announce our distinguished lineup of speakers who will enlighten us with their expertise and insights. To commence our sessions, we have the privilege of hearing a welcome speech from Dr. Salim Özdemir, hailing from England. With a wealth of experience and knowledge in the field, Dr. Özdemir will set the stage for our conference, providing us with a thought-provoking introduction to themes and discussions that lie ahead with this opening speech. Dr. Özdemir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Professor Kurt. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 9th London International Conference. Thank you for joining us today. Before I begin, please confirm if you can see my screen and hear me clearly. I will try to share my screen.
We can hear you and can see your screen.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
problem.
Excellent.
Yes.
So let's continue with my speech.
Please.
First and foremost, I would like to extend a warm greeting to each and every one of you. I would also like to express my sincere thanks to the LIC committee and all the members involved in organizing this conference. We are truly honored to have Dr. Davis from the American University of Health Sciences as our keynote speaker for the 9th LIC. We are eagerly looking forward to his insightful session. I would like to acknowledge and thank Dr. Sundari, the principal of India Sri College, Dr. Nageswari, the head of the Research Center of Commerce, and Dr. Malini, a lecturer at the Research Center of Commerce, for their collaboration and support. I want to say thanks. A special thanks goes out to Professor Nosova from Kharkiv University, Ukraine. Professor Nosova served as the 7th LIC Honorary Conference Chair and was also the keynote speaker for the first LIC. We appreciate her contributions and wish her and her country a promising future. I would like to express my thanks to Dr. Farooq, for his role as the conference coordinator and LIC Journals editor. His dedication and efforts have been instrumental in making this event a success. Next, I want to thank all of you for your collaboration and support. Your active participation and willingness to share conference information with your colleagues have greatly contributed to the success of this event. I am pleased to announce that we have established a strong synergy within the LIC academic networks, WhatsApp groups. We currently have 50 participants from 23 countries in the group. If you are interested in joining us for this group, please send us your phone number via the chat box, and we will provide you with an invitation link. Now, on to the good news. I have some good news for you. If I yeah, I will try to just a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, the first piece of good news is the invitation of an exciting project called the LIC Synergy Academy Meta Campus. This project involves collaboration between academicians from England, Germany, Netherlands, France, and USA. We will be hosting a workshop on Thursday, this Thursday, at 8 p.m. to discuss this project further. We'll manage this workshop with my colleague, Dr. Eraglu. Dr. Eraglu from London. As part of the workshop, we'll be taking a walking tour together on the LIC Meta Campus. If you would like to learn more about this project, this synergic project, please feel free to get in touch with us. Remember, we say that more synergy, more energy. Second one, the second good news revolves around publication opportunities. We are pleased to offer our assistance in publishing your academic work worldwide, whether it be an ebook or a hard copy. Our aim is to support your academic publications, and we will not seek profit from your endeavors. We firmly believe that the book is from you, the publication is from us. And next one, third announcement is regarding the exciting international health project underway. This project boasts an incredible team dedicated to making a positive impact As the saying goes, teamwork makes the dream work. We have a grand vision and we have assembled an international team to make it a reality. Please don't hesitate to contact us for more information about this healthy and wealthy project. Remember, you don't need venture capital. All you need is intention and a connection with us. Together, we can achieve great things through intention, connection, and action. Last but not least, the next conference, it's a good news, scheduled to take place in London in November, this November. We cordially invite each and every one of you to join us in person for this event. Let's gather in London and enjoy a delightful 5 o'clock tea, afternoon tea in London together. We are inviting you. We will also organize a captivating London tour for your enjoyment. In conclusion, I would like to wish all the conference participants success and good luck. Once again, warm welcome to everyone attending to the 9th LIC. Thank you for your presence and support. Thank you very much. Professor Park.
Thank you, Dr. Özdemir. Good news, and with the physical conference at the end, it will be in October or November?
November.
It will be in November. Then we can see each other physically.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you for your opening speech.
You're welcome.
Next, it is with a great pleasure that I introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Brent Davis from the American University of Health Sciences in the United States. Dr. Davis brings a wealth of expertise and research in the area of building resilience. Through his enlightening keynote address, maybe we can move it, Dr. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Through this enlightening keynote address, we will gain invaluable insights into the importance of resilience and its impact on individual societies and the world at large. Dr. Davis, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Professor Kurt and Dr. Özdemir, Dr. Farouk, Dr. Nosova, and members of the committee and esteemed colleagues. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it very much. I was very surprised and honored to be asked again to address the conference, and I trust that my remarks will be of use to you. And I'm greeting you from sunny Southern California, and I hope you will be able to come and visit me sometime, and perhaps I'll be able to come and see you in person at some point. It would be really great. Well, let me share my screen with you, and we'll discuss this topic of resilience. Can everyone see my screen all right?
Yes, it's clear.
Wonderful. All right. So, so I was looking for something to symbolize resilience, and this old tree picture caught my attention. What is it that enables some things to survive and thrive, and other things just seem to fade and not be able to survive? Well, let me begin with a little personal story. Sunday, I was having dinner with my father, and he happened to start talking about his uncle, my great uncle, Dan. And there's a little picture of him there. So when my great uncle was 13 years old, he was out hunting, and he accidentally fired his gun. The bullet hit a tree or something and then ricocheted and struck his arm. And his father quickly went to get the doctor, but in those days, transportation was very bad. And it took a day and a half to get to the doctor and another day and a half to return. And then by that time, the arm was in very bad shape. And so the doctor had to lay my great uncle on the kitchen table and amputate his arm. So for the rest of his life, he had only one arm. And but he lived quite a long and successful life as a farmer, and was able to do many activities quite well. One of his friends said that he could do more with that one arm than many people could do with two arms. And another little anecdote is one time a neighbor's car got stuck in the ditch, and she sent his son to probably not a neighbor, it was somebody who didn't know them, but a passerby got stuck in a ditch, sent one of his sons to come and get Uncle Dan, great Uncle Dan, and he was surprised at all the kids around, and he assumed that they were actually Uncle Dan's. Actually, Uncle Dan, living far out in the country, was kind of boarding several neighbors' children so that they could have a school there. But after he got my great uncle, hitched up his team of horses to pull this car out of the ditch. As they got near to the car, he jumped out of the wagon, ran over his front, and says, "Dad, you don't have anything to be sorry about. You know, we have 13 kids, but this guy's got like 20 and he only has one arm." So, I think my great uncle is a great example of somebody who had resilience, and we can all, it's these kinds of stories that I trust you probably have in your family, and other things are part of what helps us to build resilience. Now, what do we mean by resilience, and why this topic? Well, we've all just come through this great pandemic, which caused a great deal of trauma and disruption, and was certainly a topic of that. I was discussing this topic with a colleague yesterday, and he mentioned that our Los Angeles Unified School District had a theme one year during the pandemic of resilience. So it's, I believe, a timely topic that we all can relate to in some sense. And particularly, I became interested in this topic because my university is beginning a program to help the homeless, to educate them, to provide them with medical and other services, and to basically to help them to develop resilience so that they can return to a normal life. So this is a topic that I've been researching for a little while now. So what is resilience? Well, resilience is the common use of the resilience concept relates to the ability of an entity, individuals, community, or system to return to normal condition or functioning after the occurrence of an event that disturbs its state. So notice that term system. Part of what makes resilience difficult is that it's systems can be quite complex, and the interaction of different elements can be very difficult to predict and difficult to influence properly. What do we mean by a system? Well, there are many aspects that we could talk about, but systems are characterized by interconnectedness and in particular by feedback loops. And because of these loops, there's a tendency for most systems to try to achieve a state of equilibrium or homeostasis, if it's particularly a biological organism. And these feedback loops can make it difficult. So that's part of, in looking at this homeless situation, we're trying to determine what are the connections, what are the loops. And there are as we look at the stories, we collect data on homeless people by asking them to tell their stories and then analyzing, looking for themes. And some of the themes that come through are trauma and addictions. And these, of course, are related because many people will turn to addictive substances to deal with pain, with trauma. And these become difficult problems to face. But as we try to analyze the root causes and work our ways back, we are entrusting in wisdom from above. We look to see progress in this area. So another concept that we need to think about that also helps in not only are systems, are the elements of systems interconnected, but there are also certain disconnects that we need to be aware of. And if we're not aware of these disconnects, then the tendency is to, and this is in the history of modern science, is to try to reduce things to the most basic level of a physical system, of a chemical system. This is our tendency in our research model, and we've learned a great deal as a society from this approach, but there are levels of information. And what is information? Well, technically, information is the negative term for entropy. And perhaps you probably recall in your physics class, the second law of thermodynamics, that everything basically tends toward disorder. And so because of this tendency towards disorder or the loss of information, all living systems, all systems need to constantly be fighting against this tendency of entropy. And the types of organization, as I said, they're somewhat disconnected. Well, let me try to give you examples here. So as I said, we often like to try to reduce things to the simplest level, this physical or chemical level, where the members or the individual elements are in fact the elements. And these can combine into various chemical molecules and so forth. And so the sequences here that are very simple, we're just looking at valence numbers. The next level up we see is the genetic level. And genetic levels, genetic things are the individual base sequences, of DNA, RNA, and then these determine protein sequences. These sequences cannot be predicted or determined by chemical matter by looking at, say, the valence numbers. From a chemical viewpoint, any sequence of base pairs is equally likely, but only certain sequences in the genetic code will work to produce the proper ones. So there is a disconnect in information levels. And then the next level we see is an organism level where we have individual cells. And then when we get to the level of cognition and language, we have phonemes. And again, phoneme sequences are not there's nothing in the organism to determine that. Our languages are culturally determined. And so socially, things are made up of individuals. And then finally, we get to the level of the ecosystems of organisms. So the 2 points I want to make here are, one, there's these systems can be quite complex, and two, when we look at, there are certain disconnects where lower level items have an influence. In other words, chemicals can affect our genes. Our culture can affect our health. Social organizations affect us in many ways. And then, of course, we can see the effect on our ecosystems, such as global warming and things as people, all of our individual decisions affect everything on our planet. But simply trying to go to the lowest level, the physical level, we're not going to be able to address these problems. All right. So let's think about what are the factors that actually help us to develop, to build resilience in the face of all of these complex problems and this entropy that tends to cause a dissolution of organisms and complexity and organization and loss of information. Well, for us as individuals, which is probably the level that we're most interested in, one of the factors that's been identified as being very important for resilience is purpose. And this was identified by Dr. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who was in the concentration camps in Germany during World War II. And Frankl kept himself alive and kept hope. Hope and purpose go together. Kept hope alive by summoning up thoughts of his wife and the prospect of seeing her again, and by dreaming at one point of lecturing after the war about the psychological lessons to be learned from the Auschwitz experience. And I think these problems that we're facing, these problems of resilience, these are not new ones. And but let's just again, going back to the levels, look at the different levels. What are some of the threats and what are some of the resilience factors? What are the factors that help our systems to maintain? And systems are made up of stocks, which are where there are things that are stored, and flows where they move to other things, and we have the feedback loops. And normally, in a normal system, there's a state of equilibrium where the stocks and flows are working properly. But if we push the system too far in one direction or another, we begin to have problems. And if we introduce or damage the elements of the system so that they no longer are able to function properly, then the system as a whole begins to suffer. So again, at the lowest level, at the chemical level, we have poisons, we have entropy, we have maladaptive or damaging chemical reactions. We can build resilience to these things by, as an organism, our bodies are quite well adapted to normal things, but we have to give them healthy diet, and not too much, not too little, the right kind of food, vegetables and all of that. I'm not a medical person, even though I teach at a health university, but my colleagues do talk about these things, and you all have access, I'm sure, to health people who can give you good ideas. Rest, exercise, all of these normal things I'm sure we're all well aware of. Now, at the level of the genetic level, the problems are carcinogens, mutations, and we can build resilience here by filtering out, by trying to keep these harmful substances out of our system. At the level of individuals, we have cases, unfortunately, of traumatic abuse. People may be subjected to continual stress. If there is continual stress, this can lead to depression, post-traumatic stress syndrome, and these are some of the things that we see the homeless dealing with, and we want to be able to develop connections where people can come alongside and provide them with develop a sense of trust. We need part of the path back to healing is to be able to sense the love of people that are close to us, that we can trust to help us and to help provide our needs. And again, to have a sense of purpose, to give these homeless people a sense of purpose. At the organizational level, some problems are things like misinformation, the loss of the individuals who make up the organization, supply chain issues, and again, purpose. An organization also that does not have a clear sense of purpose is going to suffer and not function properly. And of course, at the ecological level, we have all of these various environmental disasters, the global warming, and there are numerous policies that have been discussed in the news and that you're probably aware of. And these would need to be enforced to restore balance. And again, if you read some of the many books on systems, they are full of examples. Just a very brief one would be the case of forestry management, trying to stop fires, trying to stop insects, often backfires because these are part of a natural cycle, which when it gets interrupted, results in unsustainable practices. All right, so that's a brief overview of strategies. These problems, they are not new. And in the Bible, in the Old Testament, we have the book of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes is a book that really addresses many issues of resilience and practical living in other ways. And in this, we do find these same themes: purpose. We're told, remember your creator, think about, enjoy your normal family life. Balance. In chapter 7, it says, don't be overly wise, but don't be a fool. This idea of the golden mean that we also find in Greek philosophy. Finding balance or rhythm. I had we had a retreat some years ago, and the person who ran this retreat was really helping us to find what he called rhythm in our lives, that our work and rest are properly managed. And rhythm is perhaps a good idea. Balance sounds rather static. Rhythm indicates that we've got a flow. There's a cycle that it's again, this idea of a system. And at the organizational level and even a personal level, we need trustworthy people around us. We need loving families. We need trustworthy associates, families, teams, such as we can see functioning here in the London International Conference. And the writer here of Ecclesiastes has a great way of putting it here. It says that two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. For if either of them falls, the one will lift up his companion, but woe to the one who falls when there is not another to lift him up. Furthermore, if two lie down together, they keep warm, but how can one be warm alone? And if one can overpower him who is alone, two can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly torn apart. So in our lives, we need to form those cords with other people. It's very important part of resilience. And resource management. We have limited resources, but using them wisely can also build resilience against times of stress and provide insurance. Says divide your portion to 7 or even to 8 because you can't always predict what investments are going to work well. That is also good advice today. And in conclusion, the book ends with fear God and keep his commandments. And this again speaks to the idea of purpose. It also speaks to the fact that God can bring grace and healing into our lives. And I would like to end with this thought that to think about the greatest resilience factor is our Creator. And when we have a connection with the Creator, He can bring grace and healing into our lives, usually through other people, often through those who have particular expertise, but especially just from our friends and our colleagues. And so, dear colleagues, I trust that you will be able to build resilience in your life and that you will form these strands that will not be easily broken when adversity, and unfortunately we all encounter adversity. May you be blessed today. All right, Professor Kurt, I will return my time to you and conclude with my list of resources. Thank you so very, very much for the time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Davis, for this valuable presentation and valuable sentences. I think what you told us today, the people in this world at this time, they need resilience. Some people have bad situations, some people have hard situations, some people have difficulties to reach their needs. And it's hard to search the meaning of life, like Viktor Frankl, man searching the meaning of life.
Yes.
It's hard to see for some people, but the resilience of hope for God,
Yes.
people can cope from these hard times. there is a Russian proverb. I think my colleagues Russian, who they know Russian. There is something like this. Maybe my pronunciation is not good, but Nadezhda umray последний. It is. This is over about hope.
Yes.
At first, the body dies, then the hope dies. But the last one is hope. So in this world, we can continue with our hopes to reach something or our targets. Thank you, Dr. Davis. And next, we can continue from our guest speakers. In addition to our esteemed keynote speaker, we have the honor of hosting 3 guest speakers from Sri Parasakti College for Women in Kottalam, Tamil Nadu, India. Now it's time for my pronunciation. Please strictly warn me about my pronunciation. Firstly, we have the esteemed Dr. Janila Sundari, whose expertise and contributions to the field of social sciences and humanities have garnered acclaim. I think Dr. Sundari is with us here now. Dr. Sundari, the floor is yours.
Yes. Thank you.
Nice to hear from you.
Greetings to all participants. It is my proud privilege to communicate with all of you in this 9th London International Conference, which is organized in association with the PG Department of Commerce and Research Center, Sri Parasakti College for Women, Kuttalam. LIC is established in the year 2020 by a group of scholars under UK consultancy and publishing in UK. Here, the participants can present their ingrained interest in new research problems and disseminate that conceptualization and discuss current issues in this platform. First conference, I think, was held in the year 2021. Now this international conference is the 9th one. The next upcoming conference is in the month of November 2023. So here I want to say something about our college with a vision to empower young women through value-based holistic learning, ensuring accessibility, equality, excellence, and employability. Our institution was started in the year 1964. Our revered founder, A.R. Subaya Mudaliyar, and founder principal, Ms. S. Bahiradi, envisioned a developed society by providing suitable ambience for educating and empowering women. The legacy of our founder and founder principal is carried forward by the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowment Department, Government of Tamil Nadu. We got this collaboration through Dr. D. Rajan, from Nigeria, a proponent of putting our profession on global map. He has passionately represented and participated as a resource person in 2 of our international conferences of our college and shown his professional acumen. London Journal of Social Sciences and the Eurasian Journal of Higher Education for Interdisciplinary Sciences, or the e-journals double-blind peer review without any publication fee. It is having network with more than 23 countries. So I record my wishes to the organizing committee, conference chairs, keynote speakers, advisory board, and overall conference team for the effective scheduling of events. I feel proud that our faculty member, Dr. Malini, is also in this team. I convey my gratitude to LIC and the UK publisher, Dr. Salim Ozdima, and the editor, Dr. Omar Farouk of e-journals, for their commendable job for bringing out this treasured insight on many core issues to limelight. Thank you, one and all. Best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sundari. And it was here nice to about Siri Parasakti College for Women. And we have another guest speaker from Siri Parasakti College for Women. Alongside Dr. Sundari, we welcome Dr. Nagaswari, whose research and insights have made a significant impact in their respective fields. Dr. Nagaswari, the floor is yours.
Dear organizers, eminent scholars, good evening to all. We, the PG Department of Commerce and Research Center, Sri Parashati College for Women, Kuchalam, are very much pleased in collaborating ourselves with the London International Conference with an aim of enhancing our levels in the arena of research. Thanks a lot to the organizing committee of LIC. We are very much pleased to work together with the LIC with respect to the following areas, namely to carry on research, sponsored research projects. Secondly, we want to involve actively in publishing books. We want to act as research. We want you to act as our advisors, research advisors, for our scholars to pursue quality research. We want to serve.
Dr. Nagaswari, we cannot hear you. Yes,
So
yeah.
sorry for the interruption. To serve as reviewer, to appraise research articles, to encourage our research scholars to publish their articles in the London Journal of Social Science consistently. So these are the areas on which we want to work. And in future, if you are willing, we can expand the areas of collaboration. As the organizer outlined, synergy is energy, which we will get through this collaboration. Thanks a lot to all the organizers. And I want to express my thanks to my colleague, Dr. Malini, who took initiative to this particular collaboration. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nagaswari. Thank you for your good wishes. It was nice to hear. Finally, for the guest speakers, I want to introduce our last guest speaker. A warm welcome to Dr. Malini, a distinguished lecturer of Siri Parasakti College. Dr. Malini, the floor is yours.
Fine, good evening, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you. Please continue.
Am I audible?
Yes.
I have been traveling with LIC since 2021. That is from the first LIC onwards. I have given different designation by LIC. That is member, reviewer, chairperson, presenter. Thank you so much, Selim sir. But today is a special day for me because here we are with my beloved teacher and principal, Dr. R. Jayanila Suntari Mum, and head of the research center, Dr. P. Natishwari Mum. Besides, we hope that the collaboration between LIC and SPC will cross many milestones with win-win strategy. Here, I too waiting with colorful breeze to attain the pinnacle of success in the realm of respect with LIC. Thank you so much. Umar Farooq sir, Rajan sir, Ibrahim sir, and Olga ma'am, Christina ma'am. I feel very happy to be virtually connected with you, to travel with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Malini. We are together from the first London International Conference, and we are growing as a team together. It's also nice to see you with the 9th one. Thank you. And thank you for your song.
Thank you, sir.
These distinguished speakers represented the diversity and global reach of our conference, bringing together expertise from different corners of the world. Their contributions have enriched our understanding of the social sciences and humanities, providing us with valuable perspectives and innovative approaches to tackling the challenges we face today. As we embark on this intellectual journey, let us embrace the opportunity to engage with these next sessions, ask thought-provoking questions, and fosters meaningful discussions that will shape our collective knowledge and inspire a new avenues of research. At the end, before the next session, it will be at 3 o'clock IT session. In this part, with the opening speech closing, I would like to extend my heartfelt thankfulness to the organizing committee for their tireless efforts in making this conference as a reality. I would also like to express my appreciation to all participants for their dedication and commitment to advancing knowledge in social sciences and humanities. Together, we have the power to shape the future of our disciplines and contribute to a more inclusive, informed, and progressive world. Without further ado, I declare the 9th London International Conference officially open. I wish you all a productive and rewarding experience through this conference. May our discussions be enlightening, our collaborations be fruitful, and shared pursuit of knowledge be a source of inspiration for the years to come. Thank you so much, and we will see each other at 3 o'clock with the IT session. You can have a coffee virtually and enjoy your coffee. See you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.